Hi, everyone. It's Elizabeth with Life's Encore Planning. How much safety tech is in your car? Do you know how much safety tech you should have in your car? One of the biggest worries for most people when it comes to getting older is the fear of losing the ability to drive. For most Americans, getting their driver's license was their first introduction to autonomy and independence. Most older adults view their ability to keep driving as their last way of holding on to that autonomy and independence. Helping older adults remain mobile with new technologies and a good car fit is important for quality of life, says AAA spokesman Michael Green. Older drivers should consider choosing vehicles that best meet their needs in order to improve safety and comfort behind the wheel, adds Green. Thankfully, high-tech safety features in our cars will keep us driving safely for longer. Check out the video's description so you can gain access to my free safety tech auto guide. Here are a few types of automobiles those over 50 are purchasing, the options you may or may not know about, and why you should consider them in your next car purchase. SUVs. Small, compact SUVs are some of the best vehicles for older drivers, says Jennifer Stockberger, Director of Operations for the Consumer Reports Auto Tech Center. Small SUVs have seats that are at hip height, which provides ease of access as well as additional visibility, Stockberger says. More than 43% of compact SUVs were bought by those 55 and older, according to S&P Global Mobility. Even though the Kia Telluride is not considered a small SUV, it was named the IIHS Top Safety Pick for 2024 and was recognized as a standout model in crash protection. My son works for Mazda Kia here in Reno, and the Telluride is their best-selling Kia SUV. You know what? Soccer moms are not the only ones who want minivans. So do those 50 and older. They are great for traveling in retirement and hauling grandkids around town. The age range of 50 to 64-year-olds are 34% of the buyers of minivans, according to Motor and Wheels. Here are some of the minivan features appealing to this demographic. Minivans tend to be the easiest vehicle types to get in and out of, which benefits kids and adults alike. They have modest ground clearance with the low floor height of a car and a tall roof like of an SUV, which makes for large door openings. Power outlets and USB ports are everywhere. All conceivable variations of storage bins, drawers, and cubbies proliferate, and more than 60% of Chrysler Pacifica buyers are over 50, according to Eric Main, a spokesman for the global automaker Stellantis. Inclusive design features should be standard in all new vehicles, in my opinion. That means considering people no matter what their age and those with disabilities when creating accessories suited to specific challenges, such as knobs with rubber or etching on the side to hold on to easier, seat belt clasps protruding higher from the side of the seat for easier accessibility. I know for myself, whether it was when it was my son or helping my grandmother, reaching over and digging down into the side of the seat was a pain to get the seatbelt clasp. And then also, what I hate in my husband's car is that you can't adjust where the seatbelt comes from the side, up or down. So it's constantly getting me across the neck. Um, Motorized trunk lids and lift gates that shut at the touch of a button, or even when a driver walks up to it. That can also take some of the hassle out of everyday vehicle operation for anyone. A small lift gate would be awesome to get packages, wheelchairs, and scooter in and out of the vehicle easily, along with, kids, all the stuff that kids have, right? So don't forget to check out the video's description, and you can get access to my safety tech auto guide. And you can also always find ways to contact me there. So here are specific safety features that we have or are available, some standard, some not, in vehicles today that everyone should consider. Adaptive cruise control. I was just using this one the other day when I drove to the Bay Area in a rental truck that I had. It's intended for highway use. That is, you designate it at specific speeds over 20 miles an hour, and the radar in it looks at the car in front of you and adjusts how to brake or to go faster to stay at the speed that you set. And it also has the option, like the truck that I was in had three different options of how much space it always wants to leave. So you can leave like 3 car lengths or 2 or 1 car length for the distance ahead of you. Here's a graphic of what adaptive cruise control looks like. So, like I said, the car is looking at the cars in front of you, and the adaptive part of it is that it'll slow down or speed up to keep you at your constant speed, let's say of no more than 65 miles per hour or more, and will adjust based on going uphill, downhill, and what the car in front of you is doing, or if a car happens to come in from another lane into your lane. Lane tracing assist. This keeps the car centered in the middle of the lane. So if you start to stray, the car will automatically bring you back to the center of the lane that you're in. It won't do that if you put your blinker on to let the car know that you're moving over, and then the lane tracing assist will not engage. Emergency driving stop system is designed to monitor the driver's input, such as steering operation. If the, for short, EDSS determines the driver is not attentive and the driver does not respond to prompts to resume control of the vehicle, it can bring the vehicle to a stop under certain conditions. So this is good for anyone having a health emergency. This also works, say, if you're in a driver assist mode and you're not interacting in some way. Maybe you've decided to put it in that and take a nap, which we shouldn't do. The car can take over, pull you over, and make it stop for a certain amount of time. I believe this is in Teslas. Adaptive headlights. They have the ability to adjust due to changing weather and lighting conditions, and they actually pivot in the direction of of travel and sometimes speed. So it's just a great option for giving better visibility for everyone and those of us with older eyes as well. Road sign assist, short RSA, is designed to detect speed limit signs, stop signs, do not enter signs, yield, and certain warning signs. This I really like. It's really cool because sometimes you're like, how fast am I supposed to be going, especially when traveling and you're in between signs or you miss the sign? This will always show on your dash. Here is a graphic for road sign assist. And depending on your car, it may show up on your dash in front of you. And some cars, it will be displayed on your windshield for you. So it's not there all the time. It'll pop up randomly. And I think it's a really helpful tool. I've actually used it. Going back to our headlights, automatic high beams. This again is an option that senses when a car is coming towards you and will switch to low beam automatically. I think it's really helpful. Some people don't like it, but I think it's great. I hate having to sit there flipping them on and off, on and off, on and off. Blind spot monitoring. This signals that a car in an adjoining lane is in the driver's blind spot. This is available as a standard feature in most 2024 models. And this is really good too, as we get older, or if we have some type of limited mobility with turning our heads really well, blind spot monitoring is a great option. Here's a graphic explaining blind spot monitoring and what extra your car will be able to see. And in most cars, these come up on your driver's side mirrors with a noise to beep at you, to let you know, or a flashing light as well. And so that's really, really helpful. I like them. The truck I was in, I didn't think had it, but I was in a hurry and it was actually turned off. And so once I turned it back on, it's a great feature. You get used to it. I still look over my shoulder, but it is a very, very helpful reminder. There's also blind spot assist. They call it BSA for short. And it will automatically take corrective action to avoid a blind spot collision. It's becoming standard in more and more cars due to safety regulations and ratings and consumer demand. Automatic emergency braking. This isn't ABS. This is AEB, automatic emergency braking. So what this does, it applies the brakes automatically or increases the brake pedal pressure to slow down the vehicle or stop it to prevent a crash or striking a pedestrian. AEB is a core safety system that no one should be ignoring, says Brian Reamer of MIT's Age Lab. Here's a graphic showing the automatic emergency braking. Warning and brake assist, warning and automatic brake, and this is the first stage of it, warning and strong automatic braking, which is the second stage. This can be very, very helpful, and it does take a little bit of getting used to. They can be a little overly sensitive, but what the options and how it can save and avoid a crash are worth it, in my opinion. Drowsy driver or attention alert systems. monitors the driver's behavior for drowsiness and distraction with the use of cameras and sensors. I know some of us are kind of like, wait, I don't know about, watching me in my car, that type of thing. So this one, maybe a give or take. Um, Maybe if you're traveling a lot, or it's late at night, maybe you engage this option for only specific types of situation. It's up to you. Rear cross traffic alert alerts you of cross traffic that's not in your rear view camera. Okay, I gotta tell you. So my car does this, and I really didn't think it did, because it'll be beeping. I'm in reverse and my car's beeping. I'm like, there's nothing behind me. And then all of a sudden, there's something. So it wasn't just looking at what was behind me, it was looking at what was coming towards me. So I think this is a great feature. 360-degree camera systems, and this gives just a bird's eye view all around the vehicle while parking, and that can be a big help, especially if you have a larger car and you're trying to get into a small space. They can be really helpful. What I do have to say is, like, for me, my car doesn't have a big monitor showing me cameras. Mine just beeps at me. And then I get into my husband's car and his has the monitor. And my kid's always going, Mom, look in the monitor, look at the monitor. But because it's not my daily vehicle, I'm not used to doing that. So that will be something to get used to the first time that you have this option in your car. So here's a graphic of what a 360-degree camera system can see around your car. It's usually 4 cameras. And this is also an option that I've noticed that a lot of people will add to existing automobiles if they don't have it when they purchased their automobile. So there's lots of aftermarket options to add this to your vehicle. Last but not least, automatic crash response. If anyone, we all pretty much know it as OnStar. So it covers, if anyone gets lost or disoriented, has an emergency while on the road, a single push of a button can link the driver to a live person, alert a family member or emergency services to send directions to a vehicle for a desired destination. Um, each automobile manufacturer, most of them have this option. They all have their own specific names for it. It is usually something that you spend extra for. A lot of times you'll get it, free for the first year or something like that. But I think it is a really good option to have in your car. Some people will say, oh, well, I have my phone. Okay, but you get in a crash, who knows where your phone is, right? It could be out the window, in the back seat. This is easily accessible from where you're actually seated in your car. So it is clear that once anyone has mobility issues, that assistive technology can increase awareness of one's surroundings and lower stress associated while using automobiles for everyday tasks and activities. And it really does that no matter what our age. Did you know in 2019, rear view cameras have been mandatory in all vehicles since then? That's good. I love my rear camera. Starting in 2025, all new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac models will include the OnStar's automatic crash response as a standard feature. So that's awesome. And Starting in 2029, vehicle manufacturers must make automatic emergency braking, which reduces vehicle crashes and hitting pedestrians, standard in cars and light trucks. If you have any questions, please email me or book a convenient time for you on my calendar. And you can do that through the videos options along with accessing my free safety tech auto guide. And if tech is your thing and you want to learn more, you can also check out my kitchen and bathroom tech videos. The links for those are in the description, and I hope you have a fabulous day.